We got to get this out there to begin with. Trump needs to stop doing the fucking old school legacy media interviews where they just get edited, because once again, we got another deceptively edited interview, but he's got to approach this like the Jordan Peterson rule of doing interviews, okay? You got to have either the entire interview being released at once without any edits, okay? It needs to be a congruent video all the way through. Otherwise, there needs to be a backup recording, which thankfully there was in this instance, because you can't trust these fucking old hoes, and especially Piers Morgan. Like, I didn't even know this motherfucker still had a job. The last time I seen him, he was storming off of Good Morning Britain soundstage for just being a bitch about something. Like, and who the fuck is Piers Morgan anymore? Like, what was he, one of the judges on America's Got Talent, and he's most known for being bitched out by Ben Shapiro and Alex Jones. He's a fucking nobody, so I don't know why and how he continues to get fucking work, but apparently he was working for the New York Post, and this came out yesterday that, oh, I got Trump to storm off of my stage when I pressed him about the 2020 election, and he didn't like that. I seen that come up just as I was done with yesterday's recordings, and it's like, there's got to be more to this, and lo and behold, Trump was running tape in the background, and guess who was doing some editing? The fucking nobody who has zero clout, who has zero smoke. Nobody gives a fuck about him, so now he just tries to raise his profile. Trump, stop doing these fucking interviews. They're never going to give you any sort of an honest platform, even if you're just out there, okay? Even if you're giving them fucking gems, just putting you out there, they have an opportunity, okay? And I'm talking about the entirety of legacy media. They have an opportunity to have you there to tell your side of the story, okay? And if you think that you can poke holes in it, okay, you should be able to have that debate right there, but they're never going to give you the fucking opportunity, because it's so much easier to just put out a 30-second little clip, a 2-minute to 30-second clip, okay? These debates, these adversarial interviews that are out there, they're worthless, they're useless, and it's just a clout grab if it's not so fucking patently obvious for everyone. Here's another example, because there's some brainlet in the comments over there. Oh, well, he's also, is this just another opportunity for Trump to complain, just like he did with the 60 Minutes interview? I think you guys might remember that one. That happened in about debate season in 2020, remember? Oh, he stormed off the stage. Well, if you remember, like the commenter underneath that who replied to that said, Leslie Stahl was the one conducting the interview for 60 Minutes. I remember some of that, okay? And you guys can go back, you can take a look at that as well. I'm not going to bring it up because we got enough stuff to talk about here for the video. But she was asking very snippy, cunty questions at the same time, and Trump was just responding to them in kind, okay? And then it just got grating over the course of like the entirety of the interview, which they only used a little bit of, was well over an hour. And then when Trump stormed out, it was just when the cameras were done rolling, they still had the lights on and all that stuff. Trump's team released the end of the interview, and he's like, okay, are we all done here? Great. And then he walks off. That's it, okay? It was no storm off, so I'm not entirely sure what the alleged spurg out, which was dispelled here in this interview is, but let's take a look, shall we? Enough preamble. Former President Donald Trump said pundit. I guess that's one way to describe him. I would just say limey turncoat. Can't say that. Deceptively edited his interview with the former president after Good Morning Britain host. He no longer works there. Published a video that appears to show Trump walking out of the interview. Piers Morgan, like the rest of the fake news media, attempted to unlawfully, I guess it could be defamation, deceptively edit his long and tedious interview with me. Yeah, he's kind of a chore if you've ever just watched a Piers Morgan interview. Like, every once in a while, okay, if I may sidetrack for a moment, Piers Morgan has some good points about things every once in a while. He is the stereotypical, the broken clock is right twice a day. Outside of that, he is just a fucking brainlet dude. So the fact that it was a long and tedious interview, it doesn't really shock me. Anyways, He wanted to make me look like I walked out of the interview with my time limit at 20 minutes went over by an hour, Trump said in a statement Wednesday. Trump continued to say that his interview with Morgan was taped by us as a means of keeping him honest, which is probably just one of those things where he's been bit before by this. So they got to keep cameras rolling. It's not uncommon because it's a dishonest game at this point, okay? Journalism is fucking dead, and this is its death throes perfectly being encapsulated right here. And he added that for those who want to make Piers look bad, compare his video promo and how it was doctored to the real thing. Hopefully, they will now be doing the same. Some big changes to their final product, the former commander-in-chief added. A recording of the interview that Trump released included audio of Trump and Morgan laughing and thanking one another. That was a great interview, Morgan is heard saying. Sucks to suck, I guess. The promo of the interview, Morgan alleged that Trump stormed out of the interview in his new show Uncensored, which will stream on Fox Nation. If you needed another example as to why Fox News cannot be trusted, there you go. There you fucking go. And Trump. I know, it's basically all you fucking watch. Stop doing Fox News shit, okay? They're just using you to prop you up, sort of, in order to get some sort of views, because the competition out there is a complete desolate wasteland, but they'll throw you to the fucking wolves as soon as it's politically expedient. Remember 2020? It wasn't that fucking long ago. Video, which featured short edited clips of the interview, included a dramatic sounding music. Oh, of course. I didn't even watch the interview, the promo clip for the interview, but obviously if it has dramatic music underneath of it, and that's the big old fucking red flag that'll go off in your head. And ended with a soundbite of Trump telling Morgan he's very dishonest, and it probably is, although it's not clear what exactly occurred. Oh no, but don't worry, Piers Morgan, he's out here because yes, he works for the New York Post, and I didn't know he worked for Fox News as well, but he has a column on New York Post, which is, God, I like some of it, I don't like some of it, okay? It's just like with Breitbart too. Breitbart's full of neocons, and it gives a column to Ann Coulter as well. Easy there, Betty. But this sack of shit here. Dear Donald, I wasn't dishonest, and like the 2020 election, my promo wasn't rigged. Really? Well, it looks like he has the audio to prove that it probably was, so I guess this is just all promo because you have a new show that's out there and you just wanted to get a big name guest and you wanted to make it as salacious as possible because that's what you always tried to do with your CNN show at the time. The previously mentioned one where he was just getting bitched out by people that were at least 45 times more charismatic than him. In your furious statement about our interview for my new show, Piers Morgan Uncensored, nice plug, you call it long and tedious, but also very strong. Which is it? Those aren't diametrically opposed statements, okay? It could just be a long, tedious interview in which he came off looking very strong. I can see also there's selective editing just in the first couple of fucking words that you're making out there. It is certainly long at more than 70 minutes, and if you're genuinely annoyed I had that much extra time, it just kind of reflects poorly on you that you don't have better things to do. Why didn't you end it much earlier? But judging by the global media excitement it's already generated before it's even aired, because you selectively edited this, and you know that provoking somebody who's constantly being misrepresented by the media would elicit an outrage like this, because he is a very popular, polarizing figure, so this was so fucking faked. Oh my god. This takes the cake from Will Smith and him slapping anybody who says a crossword about his wife for being a fucking put on. Anyways, it was far from tedious. You called me fake news media, claiming that I attempted to unlawfully and deceptively edit the 30-second promo we released yesterday to promote the interview. Get to the fucking brass tacks, you dumbass. You said all things we see are saying in the promo, and they are an accurate representation of the most contentious part of our interview. As an aside, I remember you producing many similar dramatic promos about me when I competed on your Celebrity Apprentice show. Remember when I was popular 25 years ago? That was fun. Containing the most interesting moments and an incitement for people to watch. So I'm surprised you now think it's a terrible thing for me to do. Exactly. Wow, imagine that. maybe that's, if you read between the lines there, it's just one of those things where you are directly analogizing an assisted reality show, okay? Because if you think that the Celebrity Apprentice was on the up and up, you're out of your fucking skull, but okay. Again, it was all a pitch. And look at how many associated articles are being wrote about this right now. So, yeah, it generated its necessary amount of promotion. Congratulations. Continued success. Couldn't really give less of a fuck. But why is this starting to happen right now, okay? 2024 is going to be a little while off, and he hasn't even formally announced that he's going to be running for president, but you know, it's all fucking formality at this point. And again, okay, this is just show business at work here, masquerading as some sort of investigative journalism. That's nice. Don't really care. But why is this happening right now? Because Trump's been out there with interviews, okay? He's been doing a couple of podcasts as well online that get taken down by YouTube because of election misinformation. Why is this happening? Why is this specifically happening, okay? Because, yeah, it's kind of just heading into a cable news lull with people now being able to go outside. It is spring after all, and we're going to be heading into summer, okay? Yeah, sure, you might have some boosts for primary season, but outside of that, it's all just going to be kind of dead and slow for the political news game. It's just mostly because the uniparty has to appease its masters. Here's a report, okay? It's unsubstantiated, don't know who's making these claims or anything but it does seem plausible. Mitch McConnell cheered Democrats for launching Trump's impeachment trial. Take care of that son of a bitch for us. I don't know if these are true. It does seem likely, though. Establishment Senator Mitch McConnell reportedly lauded the Democrats for launching Trump's impeachment trial after January 6th. And again, I also remember his statements right after the vote in the Senate where they're like, nah, just go fuck off already. But he was still trying to distance himself from Trump at the time. But then once all of his endorsements start to come around and blow everybody else out of the water, now it's, oh, we're just going to go with whatever side we think it's going to win. You fucking spineless turtle. Following the incident, McConnell was grateful to Democrats for taking action against his longtime political opponent, the New York Times reported. There it is, okay? This could be many, many, many things, but an honest representation of the facts, I don't really know. I'm kind of leaning that this is more or less just a hit piece, because it is the New York Times after all, and Mitch McConnell is a very high-profile Republican, and sowing the seeds of dissension within the GOP would be within its purview, because it's not a fucking, honest outlet anymore, just as much as CNN or Fox News or even the New York Post sometime or another. And if I had a nickel for every hit piece that was run by the New York Times against anybody with an R at the end of their name, I'd be a very, very wealthy man. So it's because the Times reported it. Oh, the old gray lady, the paper of record. It doesn't fucking really mean anything, let's be honest. After it became certain that House of Democrats would use the January 6th as a political agenda, adding in words, as a potent political cajole against conservatives, McConnell agreed with Democrats that Trump should be impeached. The Democrats are going to take care of that son of a bitch for us, McConnell purportedly said. If this isn't impeachable, I don't know what is. This story just seems a little bit too good to be true, just saying. McConnell, who used the media's framing to purvey January 6th as a violent insurrection, that's what he said after the fact, conveyed that he would support Trump's impeachment in the Senate. Several senior Republicans, including John Thune of South Dakota and Rob Portman of Ohio, who's retired, by the way, told confidants that Mr. McConnell was leading the way, the Times reported. Okay, taking the word of people affiliated with high-profile rhinos, again, this is the Times. These are anonymous sources or anonymous source. Yes, don't go too far on this. The articles of impeachment were soon sent to the Senate, blah, blah, blah. Upon that argument, Senator Rand Paul submitted a motion to Senate Republicans raising the question of whether or not it is constitutional to impeach Trump after he left office. 45 senators voted in favor of Paul's presaged the impeachment trial in the Senate to begin with, and the 5 Republicans who hopped across and joined the Democrats, which, even if all the Republicans sided with their own party, they didn't have the votes, because I'm pretty sure, at least at the time... Oh, no, I gotta walk that back, because that vote didn't happen until later. Okay. I don't think everybody was sworn in yet, so it mattered, but it was what? Murkowski, Collins, Romney... The fucking real estate looking motherfucker from Louisiana, and some other bitch from the Midwest. It's like, these people really don't fucking matter. Bill Cassidy is the one from Louisiana, and I can't remember the other guy, but regardless, this makes for good headlines, and there could be some truth to it, okay? This could be just Mitch McConnell's internal dialogue, but just like the Piers Morgan interview, do I think that it's just a little bit sus? Yeah, I'm pressing exit out on this one. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.